Hey, hello, how you doing? My name is Tehja and welcome to part 2 of me rhinestoning my Roxanna bodysuit for my Beyonce Renaissance fashion project. Yeah, so if you heard in part 1, what had happened is that it was supposed to just be me rhinestoning the letters, but I got deodorant when I was trying on the bodysuit. I got deodorant all over the tops, like the collar part and the side parts of the bodysuit, which was horrifying. And it was the bodysuit is made out of a type of satin that when you wash it, like, it literally gets darker. So I just did as much as I could without like ruining the fabric, and without it still looking stained, but just with water instead of deodorant. But I do have to cover it up because it's still very, very obvious. So I decided to use rhinestones to cover up my mistakes, as one normally does. So this is the video part 2 of me rhinestoning the complete bodysuit. So if you'd like to see me rhinestoning the crap out of this bodysuit with multiple different color rhinestones and have it make it be sparkly and pretty, please keep on watching until the end of this video. And also, all the materials will be linked down below, and all of the previous videos will be linked down below. So this is kind of the rhinestone color theme that I'm going for. It's a lot of rusts, burgundies, purples, and reds. So that's kind of like the color theme that I'm going for. So you see the vibe that we want for the rhinestoning of this bodysuit. So now let's move on to actually rhinestoning the bodysuit. So the first rhinestones that I'm using to rhinestone the Roxanna bodysuit are a mix of the Deco Crafts dark amethyst purple glass rhinestones in SS10 and the Azarex XX dark amethyst glass rhinestones between 2mm and 6mm, but I'm pretty sure I use like the smaller rhinestones. So I used a mix of those two in order to rhinestone the top of the bodysuit, because that is kind of the vibe I'm going for. It's almost like a gradient effect, and to kind of pull out all of the colors of the burgundy rust color of the satin, and kind of all the colors that I'm planning to use for the rest of the outfit. So I'm first starting out with these dark amethyst color rhinestones to really tap into the purpley darker vibe of a burgundy rust color. And I'm rhinestoning it the typical way that I rhinestone a lot of other things, which is using a toothpick or a daughter and then just sparsely placing the glue exactly where I want it to go, where I want the rhinestones to go, and then placing the rhinestones on top of it. You kind of want I like to call it spatial rhinestones, because you want it to fill up space. So I'm just kind of like scattering them around. These are in a little bit of a tighter bunch formation, and I'm not using too much of the purple because I don't want the purple to take over the rhinestoning and the coloring of this bodysuit, but I just want it just there enough to hint that there's purple. And it kind of came out in the photos that I took of the whole outfit. Like, you could see the spots of purple that was pulled in by the other materials that were a part of the outfit. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing first, is doing the purple and using that as the first color of the gradient. And I'm going across the entire top of the Roxanna bodysuit. I'll also do the hem area as well, like the panty line hem area of the bodysuit as well, and do a reversed gradient going upwards, but I'll show that to you a little bit later. Once we get there, I'll explain it a little bit more. So next is my favorite type of rhinestones that I learned from using this project, because before I used to be real stingy and not want to use crystal rhinestones, because I'm like, why are they so expensive? I know why now, because I had to use them to color match the bodysuit as best as possible. And so this is what I had to use in order to get that color match. And so the rhinestones I'll be using next, in the next part of the gradient, is a mixture of the Preciosa Viva 12 rhinestones in burgundy and in the size SS10, and the Dreamtime Creations crystal, I believe it's like a Chaton rose cut, in SS16. I'll have the exact names on the screen. But yeah, I had to use a mixture of those in order to color match the bodysuit as best as possible. Like, that's literally the only burgundy rhinestones I could find on the market that were like a true burgundy color. It was very stressful. That's why I'm using a mix of colors, because I couldn't find the burgundy. But I found it on Dreamtime Creations. Anyway, I say all that to say I found the burgundy. I searched high and low, but I had to do the crystal version, and I had to spend the money for it. But I see why crystals are what they are. The sparkle is unmatched. You can even see it on the garment itself right now in this shot. Like, all of the crystal rhinestones are just the shine, and the light reflection is crazy. Like, you can be in the dark and you can still see the reflection of the crystal. Like, that is crazy to me. Like, I am obsessed. My wallet isn't, but I'm obsessed with using crystals. I ended up using crystals for my birthday outfit as well, which that is a whole other video that will be coming. Ooh, probably in March, because I got a lot of projects planned that have like specific holidays and deadlines. As you know, TZ Valentine is coming up very soon as well after this project. So, you know, but I use crystals for them as well, because I was like, I have to use crystals for my birthday outfit. If for nothing else, it has to be for the birthday outfit. So I'm literally obsessed, if you can't tell. So I use that as the second color of the gradient of rhinestones, and that I use as much as I can. I still had to kind of like ration out the crystals, because you know, I didn't have as much as I would like, because I usually like to have like thousands and thousands of crystals, but I only had like almost 2,000 crystals, so I had to ration them out a little bit, but I try to use as much as I could with the amount that I had. Okay, and then the next rhinestone I'm using as the gradient effect, you know, continues, is the Deco Crafts Crystal Glass AB Burgundy crystals or rhinestones in SS12, or like a 3mm, right? So those are the crystals I'm using now that match the best to the outfit and to the bodysuit, only because I don't know, the AB effect on these crystals, even though it wasn't like a huge aurora type of effect, but it was enough to kind of give it a like almost like a reflection that it made it look like it was the same exact color as the bodysuit. Like, you could literally barely see the rhinestones because that's how much it matched the color of the bodysuit. So I was very happy about that. Now the 3mm, because I got 2mm as well, I was planning to use, but the 2mm were a little bit too orange, and the 3mm like matched just fine. And I noticed that with rhinestones sometimes with the color might change a little bit based off of the size of the rhinestone. So that was like a shame for me. But yeah, so I used the burgundy AB rhinestones the most out of everything for this bodysuit, because like I said, it matched the best. You know, even though the burgundy was holding it down, but I think with the AB you can barely see them unless the light reflects, which is kind of what I was going for, because I didn't want to overdo the rhinestones for this project. I just wanted it to I know you're like, girl, please, but I really didn't want to overdo the rhinestones. I didn't want to do too much, because wasn't the vibe for me. And if you notice with Beyonce's style, she either has a little bit of rhinestones or the whole damn fabric is rhinestone. There's no like in between, like the way that I'm doing it, you know, unless Beyonce wants to like, you know, call me to like recreate this for her. That would be great. Hi Beyonce, if you're watching this, I love you, and I would love to make stuff for you. But anyway, but yeah, so I just didn't want to go overboard, and I didn't want the color of the bodysuit to be like taken away or like outshined by, pun intended, outshined by the rhinestones. So, because I really was obsessed with the color of the fabric. So anyway, I continue with the burgundy AB rhinestones, because like I said, it matched the most. So I think I used the most of the AB rhinestones, because like I said, with the burgundy crystal rhinestones, I could not use too much, because I still needed some for the cape as well. So as much as I wanted to like douse it in the burgundy rhinestones, because of that reflection is outrageous, I couldn't. So anyway, I do that for this bodysuit, and I believe we move on to the bottom of the bodysuit, and you'll see why in a second. All right, so now once I'm done with the top of the bodysuit, I am moving on to the bottom of the bodysuit, and I'll be rhinestoning it the same exact way in that gradient effect, but going upwards. So the closest to the hem will be the dark amethyst color, and then we'll move up to the burgundy and then to the burgundy AB colors. Okay, so again, first starting off with the dark amethyst color or dark amethyst rhinestones from the Deco Craft. And like I said, I'm doing the same thing. Now I'm following the panty line, and I want to rhinestone in an effect that almost looks like, almost like an hourglass shape based off of the way that the bodysuit is shaped as well. So I almost want like a slimming effect to the bodysuit, and kind of almost makes it like have the illusion of the cinching effect even with the rhinestones themselves, because I love that effect on like when like other designers do it with like fabric, and I love the effect of it when it like is like right and it looks good. It's just, it adds like a really nice dimension to the bodysuit or to the garment. So I'm kind of like rhinestoning that same hourglass effect as well, and I will continue that with the front and the back of the bodysuit. So as you see, I'm going all along the hem of the bodysuit, and in that same scattered pattern. I think I use a little bit more dark amethyst on the bottom than I do on the top, just so I don't have to use as much burgundy, because again, I'm rationing the burgundy so I can use as much as I can for the cape as well. Yeah, so after I'm done with the dark amethyst, I'm using the crystal burgundy rhinestones to follow suit. And as I go more up towards the bodysuit or up the bodysuit, you'll see more of the hourglass effect going on. And yes, I rhinestoned all the way to the crotch. I don't miss any part of the bodysuit. So next I'm using the crystal glass rhinestones from the Decocraft and Burgundy AB to act as the like main color. Sorry that my head's in the way. It's hard. I'm still trying to figure out this overhead system. It's hard to figure out, but y'all get the gist of what I'm doing. And lastly, in that middle section, I'm using the Tehja's Wonderland Crystal Glass Rhinestones and Vampira in the size SS4, which is the smallest size I got so far, in the middle of this bodysuit to kind of add more of a dimension to the bodysuit. Like you can literally barely see it because that's how tiny the rhinestones are. But it adds a little extra thing to like the whole gradient effect. And then also like there's lots of reds in the overall outfit, so that adds to it as well and kind of pulls in the reds into the garment. I did this like literally last minute. Like I was like, oh, you know, that would be cute if I added, and I added the least amount of the Vampire rhinestones out of all the rhinestones. Like I just really just wanted like a touch. So now I'm just doing just the finishing touches of the garment, just adding in the rhinestones where they need to be. And then I do the same thing on the back of the garment as well. Hopefully I can put a video in because my video editor has been a little bit weird with using iPhone videos into the projects, but I'll see if I can do it. And so yeah, I do the same thing to the back of this bodysuit, and then that is it for the video. So this is how the bodysuit came out, is rhinestoned all the way down. Like it looks freaking good, and I look like a disco ball. So I kind of like hit the nail on the head, if I do say so myself. Very much on theme, very much on brand. And like, you know, it was fun because rhinestoning is always a meditation for me. So I literally like can't get enough of it. So that is it for this video. As you saw, everything that I did for the Roxanna bodysuit. So now it's completely finished and we can move on to the cape in the next video. And as always, all of the materials will be linked down below. Okay, so this is how the bodysuit came out. It's so pretty. I'm happy with the rhinestone choices because I was worried about my rhinestone choices, because, you know, it was hard to find rhinestones that would match the color of this burgundy color, like burgundy rust color. There's literally like no rhinestone that matches that color. So I really had to make it work. And I'm just happy with the way it came out, and it added a lot more dimension to the bodysuit and the texture of the bodysuit, which I'm very happy about. So I'm just happy with all the way it completely came out. Like I love all the colors I chose, and I think it really saved the bodysuit. And then now you can't really still like stain the bodysuit because there's too many rhinestones on it, too much texture. So as always, the materials will be linked down below. Also sign up for my Patreon for exclusive content, discount codes for rhinestones, sewing patterns, because the sewing pattern for this Roxanna bodysuit is also available on my Patreon. And you know, it's just exclusive content, behind the scenes stuff. So that is pretty much it for this video. So I'll see you next video when I'll be sewing the cape for this Beyonce Renaissance inspired fashion project. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you're notified whenever I do post a new video, so you can keep along with this whole journey of this Beyonce Renaissance inspired project. So as always, lovelies, please love yourself, and I will see you next video. Mwah!